that. Don't like that. I like that.
That is very offensive.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of TACT Lab, where four guys sit down to talk about pretty much anything. It's been a while since I've said that.
Yeah.
But it has a nice ring to it. So, as usual, I'm surrounded by my great friends. I've got Chris to my right. How are you, Chris?
Good.
Good. I've got Thomas in front of me. How are you?
Pretty good. I bought a cabinet from Wayfair. It has some weird stains in it, though.
Wayfair, just what I
Yeah,
need.
be careful with those. I heard there's some problems with those cabinets. I got Alex to my left. How are you, Alex?
Hey, you will remember this.
Pretty good. I was waiting on the O'Briens to come in here and get us.
Why? Because of the Wayfair thing?
The Irish cops coming into the speakeasy.
Oh,
It's called O'Brien.
O'Brien's.
O'Brien's.
You mean Paul
hey.
Walker?
Yeah. O'Brien.
I want the pimento cheese sandwich.
It was tuna.
Tuna.
The tuna here sucks.
Yes.
Not to me, it doesn't.
He says F.
Oh, yeah. He says the
F-A-double-G word.
yeah, that slur.
Wait, he says that in the movie?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Not Paul
and then
Walker, but the guy.
The other guy.
The guy
Why
that
are we
you
talking-
look like this. The guy that you look like.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, he drinks my fucking beer. Fuck Vin Diesel.
Well, I'm doing fantastic.
How you doing, Tyler?
I'm great. My throat is blown out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So this is our 21st episode. We were going to do some dumb stuff, but
Nope.
we just couldn't plan it in time, and we didn't want to ruin a good episode. I was a little worried that we might go off the rails a little bit.
No. Never.
So maybe that's a future thing we'll do when I can strengthen my throat with lozenges and then smoke the mighty smoke of the gods.
I bet if you push down on your head, your neck.
I heard if
and
you
push
lay-
up, put the blood up to your head.
Everybody everybody-
I bet.
I heard if you laid on your
You're
bed.
talking about you want me to jelk my neck.
I'm saying if you lay on the bed, on the back, and let your head hang off the bed, you can get more in the throat.
Okay. It's a straight path.
Yeah.
It's a straight path down the throat.
Then you put your thumb.
You can just eat a popsicle in one bite.
All right, so I'll try that next show. I'll get my dad to drop me off so I don't drive while I'm
Oh,
impaired.
don't do it with your dad.
Thanks, Dad. Did you see that guy eat those hot dogs? About like that.
Yeah.
He didn't chew them.
I can't watch that. That's
He was shoving like
just
3
watch
hot
Ellie-
dogs in his mouth at a time, and then he'd get 3 more hot dogs and just force the other
You can
3
watch
in.
Ellie Beast do it, and like he puts one in his mouth and goes, and takes it back out. And he puts it back in because he can't do it.
something about hot dog bread and water just makes me sick feeling.
It reminds
Like dunking buns in water and double fisting them down your throat.
it reminds me of the challenge that women used to do with bananas, and they'd be like, "How far can you go?" And they would do it, then the banana would break off in their mouth.
Yeah.
I really do enjoy seeing the women take the animal balloons, but they never fold them up, and they stick that
yeah.
animal balloon all the way down their throat.
Dude,
There's a guy that does it at the Renaissance
Yeah,
Festival
a
that
dude.
apparently can pop it.
Yeah, he can
Dude,
pop
if he
it
can
and
floss
eats it.
that'd be amazing.
Just flosses it out of his asshole.
Pretty sure that's just your intestines you're pulling out.
Like, you want to see me make a dog? And he makes it in his colon, shits it out a week later.
He comes out, it's a sword. Yeah, that
Like he
guy.
preemptively puts a balloon in his ass and poops it out. So you got, and he does that prairie dogging method we talked about in episode 3 or whatever about the poop. You suck it back up.
Yeah.
So he's doing.
So he swallowed an animal balloon 8 hours earlier, and at the show he
shoves
shits
it up
out.
his
He
ass.
shoves one up prior to the show.
He
is
shoves
a
it up
long
his
con,
in
ass.
the mouth, and he does the poop method where he just sucks it in and out.
I think
Like
that
this.
I would be blown away. Well, that guy would swallow.
That's commitment for
that guy would
$9 an hour.
swallow a balloon and do the show, talk, do other things, and
Yeah.
then at the end he'd pull that fucking thing out.
Yeah.
I've been going to the Renaissance Festival 10 years now.
I haven't been in a long time.
You haven't seen him?
No, I've seen him.
Okay.
But he's next to the guy that makes the Old Navy joke every year.
The guy says the same joke every year?
He says it's like white people with Old Navy. Makes a joke about that. I don't know.
Oh.
Anyway.
All right,
All right,
so
I never got Old Navy
Yep.
jokes.
this
anyways.
this week This has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But
Had to warm everybody up.
yeah, we got some light banner at the beginning here. We are going to talk about the prohibition of the 20s and the 30s.
You mean the prohibition?
Prohibition, because
bitchin'
everybody
times.
was bitching they weren't getting their alcohol. And I will say it's quite amazing that they tried to make Americans not drink alcohol for 13 years. It was illegal for 13 years. That's amazing.
Who profited off that?
Well, Al Capone did, obviously.
No, I mean like.
The government was still making money because it wasn't illegal to.
No, they
drink.
weren't.
They were.
No,
they still had
untaxed
legal
liquor.
No, they still had legal people making wine and stuff.
Yeah, they still produced
Oh, I'm
it.
sure they made their money off wine.
Because it wasn't illegal to drink it; it was illegal to sell it and transport it.
Yeah,
So-
it banned production, importation, and sale.
I mean, the whole
Right.
reason they went after Capone was for tax evasion.
Yeah, tax evasion.
That's
That's all they could.
had.
That's all they could get him on, even though he was known for numerous murders.
He had
and,
syphilis too and shit himself a lot.
Wow, in jail he had syphilis. How
Right.
did he die? A heart
He
attack,
shat himself to death.
or did he die of
was
cancer?
it was in jail from syphilis.
Probably had prostate
It was
cancer.
probably when he got tied down and the guard shit on his chest.
You like that?
I'm laughing because I'm angry.
I'm laughing because I'm angry.
They did him dirty.
Well,
You
it
won't.
says Al Capone died of cardiac arrest. He had a heart attack.
That's what they want you to think.
He probably
Yeah,
saw
he's-
the biggest pair of titties in his life and died.
Oh, that's
There was probably some big ones back then. They weren't just flopping around either. It was,
No, they were-
Well,
they
that
were-
guy ran a
he
prostitution
probably
They
ring.
were in
asked-
big old cone things.
The cone tits, but he probably asked for a couple of flappers.
They weren't the
and he
cones
got
yet.
two guys coming in fappers.
Oh, he asked for the
he forgot
flappers
the
and he got
L's.
the fappers.
He got the fappers.
They gave him the L.
The cones were
It's
in
all
the
Billy's
40s,
Club.
My
40s
bad.
and 50s. So we're talking about Prohibition.
Prohibition started in America because of the temperance movement that was mostly led by women.
So it
I'm
was
get-
like mad back in the day?
Yes, but the thought was that because religion was so strong that men were going to be swayed by the alcohol, and that was the devil's juice, the temptation.
So you're saying the devil's juice run through Jesus' veins, which is the communion?
It was the sauce that would lead to bad things.
So the root of all problem are devil Jews.
It was a religious thing. That's what basically started everything.
But prohibition.
But it was the women. How did the women have power?
It wasn't just women. There were still men. There were still other people involved.
I was told women had no power
Yeah,
back
what
then.
what year did they get the rights to vote?
That was after.
This was a pre-war cuck fest. This was
Okay,
was
so-
cucks backing women.
Okay,
so this is post-World War I, pre-World War II?
no, this is the
when-
temperance movement started during
Sorry.
World War One.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so all the guys go over there and die, and the women's like, we have the hardest jobs.
Well,
and
no,
they get rid of the
it,
alcohol.
They pretty much said that because they were fighting in World War One, that the in 1917 advocates against alcohol leaned heavily on the argument that barley was used in brewing beer, and that could be better used by making bread for soldiers that were affected by the war in Europe.
Yeah.
So they stood on that platform.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, imagine a soldier coming home and fucking beating his wife and kids because he had PTSD. So
And
women
he
were
get
like,
drunk.
this is not good. The
So-
alcohol, it gets him to this point, so we need to get rid of alcohol.
So they haven't discovered marijuana yet.
I'm sure it's still
Yeah, they
around, but
definitely
not.
have- yeah, it's
not,
not-
bi- it's
Actually,
not a big
not
thing.
like today.
back in the times, that's when like you could just smoke weed and it was not a thing.
Right, you wouldn't get
Right.
arrested
Until
back
some
then.
guy like is like, I can make money off this. and then
Tobacco
they're like,
was
"Whoa."
big. Tobacco was huge, probably bigger than marijuana.
Oh yeah,
Right.
So the time frame here is
that was back when you could roll a fag and with everybody.
That's right.
so the 18th Amendment banned alcohol. The 19th Amendment, which happened the same year, allowed women to vote. And then the 20th Amendment was the repeal of
The repeal of
Right.
the 18th.
yeah.
Yeah, because the 18th Amendment, it came into effect in 1919 is when it was ratified.
Yes.
And then it was overturned in 1933,
So it's roughly 13 years, right?
Right at it, yeah.
somewhere around there. And it's the only amendment to actually be overturned or repealed
Yeah.
in the Constitution.
So, and hopefully we're getting there with other things.
Yeah, like
Yep.
the Second Amendment. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying?
No, I was talking about marijuana.
Okay,
But
Sorry, maybe it's 21st Amendment.
but the
that's what I thought. But
Sorry,
you know,
everybody
Yeah,
good
20th
at
Amendment's the lame duck period. Sorry.
But pretty much it didn't ever state that it was illegal to drink alcohol. It was illegal to sell and transport alcohol.
Yeah, so this is like a hard cutoff, right, where people were stockpiling?
It was a loophole because whenever they were trying to get the law passed, a lot of people were still against it. Well, churches can still serve alcohol for communion. Doctors can still serve alcohol as far as it was for pharmaceutical or other type of medical needs.
Yeah.
But as far as people just buying it from the local grocery store or whatever, no.
Yeah,
that was not a thing.
This was a time period where you'd go into your doctor as a female,
Yep.
and you would get your clit rubbed because that was a way of relief.
Yeah, that would stop the hysteria.
Yeah, that
True.
would make you not crazy. So they'd bring you to orgasm, and they would
Did they know how to do that back then?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm,
the doctors did.
They had special
Because apparently people
techniques.
still don't know.
And that's
how.
what Larry Nassar tried to do with the gymnast.
You get your fingers like you're going to come hither. Get it up in there, rub.
You don't like the come here motion.
I was going to piggyback off of what you said that churches could also sell or still consume it.
Yes.
Churches were the only way that it was certified legit alcohol because they had to get legit alcohol.
Right.
So I was going to tell you
Why do they have to?
because there was a big scare because people thought they were being poisoned by the government back in the day. Have you guys heard of this? That apparently the government killed 10,000 people, up
Yeah.
to 10,000 people back in those days. They put basically rat poison in the alcohol to scare people from buying it to aid in their prohibition control.
You can't drink liquor if there's nobody to drink it. It's big brain.
It's big brain.
So yeah, doctors and churches could give out alcohol, so that led to a lot of people becoming pharmacists and clergymen,
Sure are a lot of priests around here.
which kind of coincided with the Bible Belt. A lot of people becoming
Yeah.
priests.
Oh, then maybe that's what happened. Maybe that's where all the denominations came from. There's already a Southern Baptist. Guess I'll start Pentecostal. Great. I guess I'll start a Methodist. Southern Baptist.
I'll be the Lutherans.
And that's why some priests work at multiple churches.
There you go. Because they had an allowance that they could buy from the government if you were a preacher.
So the government still made booze.
The government was still letting wineries and a few distilleries be legal and still work just for doctors' offices and churches. And that was it.
Okay.
So when does the pedophilia come in?
I didn't get to that part.
What?
It's always been in.
But then a weird thing about the churches were that a lot of people in a lot of the hardcore people in the temperance movement actually wanted to rewrite the Bible.
What?
They wanted to take out any use of alcohol from the Bible.
No, Jesus made wine. You can't take that
They
away.
wanted to take it out.
They wanted to censor
Well, I mean,
Jesus.
man already put that in the Bible.
They wanted to
begin with,
censor
so-
Jesus.
They wanted to censor the Bible.
No, you can't take out the red words.
The red words?
Well,
Red wine?
The end of the Bible?
Oh, you guys
That's what
don't
Jesus
get it?
said, right?
The KJ version?
King James?
You guys don't know the red words?
That's the one that Jesus supposedly said, right?
Yeah, those are Jesus' words. The red
Written
words.
by someone 30 years after he died.
You guys didn't know this.
I knew that, but I don't
Oh,
believe
you-
it.
You can't take
You
out
realize that a
Can't
room
take
of
out the
people
red
like
words.
imagine 30 centuries ago, 20 centuries ago, 10 centuries ago, no, two centuries ago.
How many centuries ago?
Back when people wore robes, they
They still wear robes.
200 years ago, they were wearing suits, man.
I don't
They were
care.
dressing better than
look.
us.
Yeah.
Imagine a bunch of people like us who are oddly tanner than what we are right now, sitting in a room deciding what to put into the holy book. That's what
You
happened
say 200 years ago?
2,000 years ago.
Oh.
Year zero, right?
True.
I don't fucking know when it happened.
That's when it happened, right?
Sorry, I thought you said 2
Yeah.
centuries ago.
I thought it was King James was the one that had
Civil
it
War time.
rewrote.
The Bible wasn't written until Civil War happened.
Oh my god.
They needed something to believe in.
2 score years ago, Jesus wept.
I saw him last night.
So, of course, there were still loopholes with this as well. If you already had beer and wine at home, you were safe to drink it at home. The police wouldn't bust in and be like, oh, you're drunk, and arrest you. And it was also legal for you to make it yourself as long as you didn't sell it. So,
So really, it's fine.
it's
That's awesome.
they
You could
just-
like distill whiskey and stuff.
right.
But-
But it tasted like ass.
No, you could get good